Hello, I am Becca and you are watching Rue's Musings. Today we are going to work through something together. I haven't quite gotten all the way through this, but I think I have enough of the meat of it to share with you guys today. Something has happened with my own personal relationship to my body through these last couple of years, and this is due to various things. One is I'm not a teenager or a 20-something anymore, so I think that plays some part in it. But the other part is me recognizing how much most of us view our bodies as things, as other, as a sum of each of our parts. And I guess I'm just starting to realize, and obviously we know this, but how much most of us, especially women, have subscribed to being different parts. Like, this part of mine is good and this part of mine is bad and this part is okay. So we view ourselves as a whole bunch of different parts. And some of what is offered to us to love ourselves, I think there's two primary messages that we're receiving around loving ourselves and loving our bodies. One is you can love your body by making it perfect. And that's the one I think most of us live inside of a lot, is that if we try to look this way that we're supposed to look, that is acceptable and beautiful and perfection, then that would give us the right to love our bodies. The other of which is much more sort of yogic, and is that love yourself just as you are. And I think that's a fantastic message, and I totally believe in that message, and haven't succeeded in doing that pretty much ever. Just as, like, hey, are you not loving your body? Here's a card that says love yourself just as you are. And you're like, oh, that's right. That's easy. I'll just love myself just as I am. We're getting messages so frequently about only being able to love ourselves if we're this thing, this other thing, this perfected thing, so that just this idea of loving ourselves as we are isn't, for me, enough. There needs to be more of an application. So what I'm experiencing inside of a really steady asana practice, and again, the asana are the yoga postures, which is not the whole of yoga, but is a part of it, certainly, is loving my body through a relationship with it. So that every day, or most days, we get to come together as a crew, as a unit, and apply ourselves together. Like, hey, can we try this pose? And can we breathe into this part of the back of our lungs? And can we stretch this muscle while engaging this other muscle? So it's really cultivating a relationship with my body that has made me, love maybe isn't the perfect word, but I wholeheartedly accept and appreciate and respect and honor and get behind my body as a huge part of myself, as the vehicle that helps me live inside of yoga, as well as inside of being able to talk to and listen to each other. So I think that now, I know that now my body and I have this relationship that is a back and forth constantly throughout the day. So it's not that I'm like, okay, go sit in the corner for 15 minutes and converse with your stomach or converse with your toes or whatever. It's just a constant feedback that, because inside of yoga asana, we're putting our attention on our whole body. So I have thought about pretty substantially the arches of my feet, and I've thought about my inner knees, and I've thought about my upper inner thighs, and my inner and outer armpit, and the sides of my neck, and the base of my skull. All of these places I now sincerely, daily have a relationship with, that I have cultivated on purpose. So we're in this thing, my body and I, together as a crew, as a unit that gets along. And if my wrist, I mean, this just recently started happening, my shoulder sometimes gets misaligned, so if I'm putting direct pressure on my wrist, the outside of my hand hurts. So I'm like, hey hand, what are you doing? And my hand says back to me, line up your shoulder. Take your time, don't rush through this, so that we're talking about how to feel good in the present moment, which is where we're always living. It's not a thing anymore. A thing, my body being a thing that I like or that I don't like, that looks good or doesn't look good, or looks the way it's supposed to or doesn't. I get in it. So that's my advice to us, for us today, to us, is with inside your body, get in it. Be in it. Be with it, be in it, and experience. Inside of a hike, Yoga is amazing. I imagine, like I've said before, martial arts is as well, and Tai Chi and those types of things. Working out and running, I love and I believe in, but to me it's a different thing. It's still a little, I want to say kind of objectified, like how many calories did I burn today on the treadmill, or how many reps or sets of this did I do, so that's sort of how we're quantifying the experience of working out, versus let me just go and roll around on my mat for a while, spend some time inside of having this body and getting in it, being with it, to be with myself, my physical self, and to integrate that part into all the other parts. It really is possible, and it can happen theoretically, which is, I mean, if you can just say like, oh, that's right, I love myself just the way I am, and that works for you, badass. Go for it. I think that that's phenomenal. I've needed years of application, of saying, okay, how can I move the top of my shin bone forward, lift the arch of my foot, root my big toe mound down, and move my inner upper thigh back into the back plane of the body. And then you've cultivated this relationship with your legs that you can count on when you're going upstairs and they say, oh my God, I'm tired. And I'm like, yeah, I know, legs. It's okay. We're going to sleep later. Does that make sense? Get inside your body. It's all you've got. And it's phenomenal. Your body is you, and it is truly, remarkably, unbelievably, amazingly awesome. But we forget that because we just say it's this thing that betrays me by how it looks and by what it can and cannot do. Get in it. I love you. See you next week. Bye.